Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker with me, Barton. Okay, I'm going to quickly do these level ups. So cleric with him. Next, I'm going to go persuasion. Each of the recommended ones, really. Okay, let's go with spell focus. Abjuration, I think is going to be the best one for him. Complete. Now, Miri, Barbarian. So each of the recommended again. Okay, improve critical. She's currently using a great axe, so see that. Next, complete. And for him, we can just complete. He's on auto. Okay. Now, let's go over here. Have a quick chat with you, Azrael. The Elven lady nods politely. Will you help me? I promise. This deal won't make you sorry. Okay, I agree to make a deal with you. Azrael's eyes shine with excitement. She hands you pen and paper. Thank you. Sign here, please. And here. Done. All right. No one can touch a court blacksmith. I will order my apprentices to pack up my materials and take them to the new workshop, which you will kindly provide me with. As soon as I'm settled, I'll send one of my people to deliver your order. Okay. That's good. Now, we've done that. We can't actually go in there. It's fine. So let's find an exit, I guess. Let's go there. So we need to build her workshop. Okay, so it's actually hard to see that with that one being on right on top of it. Let's go to Kingdom. Okay, and then there. Let's enter. Okay, we'll do some building here. So we have 171 build points. I'm going to build the piers. Okay. Then I want to build, I think, wooden walls. Brass weapon shop. Let's place that there. Then her weapon shop beside it. Okay. Then I want to get some other stuff going. Community, divine, and culture. The longhouse, that could be good. Let's see in terms of stats. So we need to relations, stability, culture. Okay, so that's going to give us culture. That's going to give us loyalty, community, divine, culture, community, loyalty, community, and loyalty, economy, divine, military, economy, espionage, and community. Okay, so I think the longhouse gives us the best at the moment. So let's build one of those. There. Okay. Then we're going to leave that. We will have to go buy some more build points, but that's fine. Right, let's come out of there. Now, So we need to go to this shrine of Lamastro. I know I pronounce that differently almost every time. Let's head on then this way. Travel there. We'll see what day it is. Okay, we've got a wolf there as well to deal with at some point. Okay, we'll enter. And a tip I'll show you when we get in, but a tip I found out, which is very handy, is how to know what day it is. So we look here, it's Sunday. Okay, so we basically need to pass 24 hours and then it's going to be Moon Day. Let's exit. So can we go? How far is it going to be to there? That's 6 hours. Then probably another 3. So I think we can go and deal with this wolf there and then come back. So let's try that. Let's travel there. Okay. Move on a little.
May we have a moment of respite?
Okay, it's just becoming daytime now. Let's enter there.
Would be nice, don't you think?
So I'm not going to allow them to rest because I want to get back to their place. Oh, where are the lovely wolves?
No stopping now.
Oh, hi there.
Repent!
Charge!
Let's get it done. Okay, some sputters joining.
Letting you out of our story.
Okay, is that all of you? No, there's more. Yeah, I think that's them all. Let's skin what we can. Collect that. Okay, come over here. There's a dude there as well. Okay, skin and collect. Let's see what he's got. So he's got some gold, potion of cure moderate wounds, and then wolf victim's book. Okay. So let's have a look at the book. It's going to be in here, isn't it? Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so let's read this. There are many goblin tribes in Avestan. These militant creatures do not construct cities. Instead, they build their settlements in forests. Ancient ruins are in caves. Goblins do not farm. They collect waste and rob and loot. In other words, parasitize on other developed civilizations who avoid any diplomatic relation with these dangerous pests. Goblins experience pathological fear of horses and dogs. Despite this, they do not disdain the company of wolves, which they use as mounts. In battle, goblin riders are terrifying. They are a striking force that breaks into the enemy's formation and carries horror and death to all who happen to be caught on the way. Goblins are often accompanied by wargs. These creatures are larger than ordinary wolves and have even more ferocious tempers. Although wargs allow goblins to ride on their backs, it's highly questionable who is the master and who is the pet among these two. Another beast which should be known to the curious explorer of the wolves and goblin tribes is a barghest. Scientists consider these monstrous creatures to be related to goblins, but in appearance they are very similar to wolves. Barghests are very dangerous. They are able to shapeshift to instill a feeling of boundless despair in their victims and tear them apart while they are in helpless state. For the goblins, barghests are sacred creatures. They believe these monsters once initiated the goblin race. Okay. Did we read this bit? Goblins are often accompanied by wargs. These creatures are larger than ordinary wolves, have even more ferocious temper. Although wargs allow goblins to ride on their backs, it's highly questionable who is the master and who is the pet among these two. Okay, that's interesting. Now, let's move on. Let's just check around the place. Okay, so we got something there. Okay, it's under a bit of one of those rings. Maybe I have to reforge it at some point. Anything else? Okay, anything else showing up?
Onwards.
Okay, that was a wolf down here.
To victory!
Right.
What's that?
Oh, there's something there. Okay. Skin. Okay, we got a gold ring, scroll of haste, jasper, jade, and honey. Okay, collect those. Now, we've got stuff over there, so let's go over there. Apparently we can't exit the way we come in though. So we just have to check these walls out. Skin and collect. And then we just head towards the exit over here, I think. And we need to get ourselves back to the shrine before the end of tomorrow.
May we have a moment of respite?
Soon. Travel there.
Time to search for the spot to rest.
Accept that. Begin. Okay. Continue. And continue. Okay, it's daytime. And let's enter. So hopefully it's still moon day. Kind of an Egyptian feel to that, looking at the dog's head and stuff. Okay, so what day is it? It's moon day. Good. Let's talk to you. I'm ready, Keston. Let's get those cultists. Oh, there they are. With a duck. Is the duck a cultist as well? Come to me, Lamestru children. Lamestru's children. Say we praise. Praise the mother beast, the glorious day. Here for Lamestru. Lamestru favors us. She blessed the pack with a new cub, a beautiful female cub. Oh. Okay, interesting. Goddess took cub mother's life as a payment. Okay. Ask themselves for water. Wow. Okay, they're all gone crazy. Right, let's go
March on.
kill some of these guys.
We cannot be defeated.
Strike is one.
He's running away. There's nothing we can do. Okay. Let's get our loot on. We got bloodstained piece of manuscript. Okay, we'll read that soonish. Gonna go see. We probably can't know. He's gone. Okay. Well, let's chat with you first. Oh, okay. We can't actually chat with him right now. So instead, let's see what this manuscript has to say. Crushing bone, hear me. Each word I speak shall turn to stone. The world shall shudder at my word. Open your eyes and see. The world becomes beautiful. Burnt forests stretching to the horizon. Mounds of bodies, blackened skies, skulls littering the coast like gravel. I, the one who renders the flesh of her enemies, take in this beauty. All living beings tremble at my sight. Bow to me. Search. Search the children of Shelyn. Tear them apart. Destroy them. No, transform them. Grant them the gift of rebirth. Let them become beautiful, befitting the beauty I shall bring into this world. O great Lamashtu, the eater of hearts, reveal your truth to us. We hear your call. All of you shall live in a better world. Curse Pazuzu, the flying worm. He shall fall in this war. Soon, myriads of warriors under my command. The mountains themselves shall crumble at our feet. Burn all. Make the world beautiful. The ground thirsts for blood. I thirst for beauty. Give birth to beasts. I shall... That's where it ends. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and now can we talk to you? Nope. Right, so let's see what the journal says then. It's a witch hunt we're looking for, isn't it? Yep, there we go. One priest managed to get away, get him. Okay. So let's get after the one priest then. I think this still is nothing. Right, so we went that way. We're going to go that way too. The triumph over the wicked Lamashtu cultists proved incomplete. Some villain or villainess had slipped away under the cover of darkness and into a narrow gorge amongst the rocks. Without a second thought, our brave Baroness, loyal Keston, and their comrades in arms rushed after the fleeing figure. The figure, clad in black, was barely visible in the dark. The villain had gotten far ahead of us. At the last moment, the Baroness noticed their prey had turned aside and disappeared behind the rocks. 8, dexterity, plus 5, plus 12. So that needs a roll of 12, that needs a roll of 9, so that's actually better. After they decided to take a shortcut to catch the cultists by surprise, the party started climbing up the stone ridge. Climbing in the darkness is a difficult task. It's not a joke when you try to catch a stable rock and hear the small stones crumbling underneath your feet. Several times it seemed our heroes were out of luck, but their stubbornness and the thought of the runaway cultists gloating above eluding them gave them strength. Moments later, we were at the top. So our heroes found themselves at the top, and just in time, the cultist, barely visible in darkness, was threading her way through the gorge directly beneath them. It seemed the cultist was so focused on finding his footing, he didn't notice his pursuers perching above him, giving the Baroness a chance to strike. What will our heroes do next? Okay, so plus 5 to strength. Okay, so we're going to do this one. Trigger an avalanche over the runaway's head, frightening him. I think we go with you because don't really have any intimidate down this end. Okay, so let's accept that. The boulders rumbled down the slope, the column of dust and triumphant cries from above that would be enough for Lamashtu herself to turn tail. The cultist wasn't any better. He lost his footing and his escape turned into an awkward tumble, causing him to trip and stumble among the rocks. Darkness failed to cover the peculiar way the runaway walked. The robed figure was limping badly, dragging their right leg. Despite that, the cultists vanished in the darkness without a trace. The party followed to the edge of the plateau where the flatlands began. As our brave heroes reached the edge of the plateau, the vastness of the Camellands opened before them, an ocean of high grass as far as the eye could see, a beautiful sight. but finding our quarry in this green sea, it would prove impossible. With our heads down and hopes lost, we descended to a small streamlet, flowed amongst the stones, and then, there before us, good fortune, in his haste, our Vernon had run through the high grass, leaving a trail for all to see. The party immediately set off, driven by a single desire to capture the criminal who dared us to escape the punishment of the Baroness and had led us on an unwelcome chase. We moved as swiftly as we could, but even the ground seemed to fight us. Rocks gave way to mud which grew deeper as we marched on and seemed to grab at our boots. Even the wind began to rise, lashing at our cloaks, and a foul scent filled the air, such signs we were heading towards the Nile marshes. Soaking wet and exhausted, our heroes came upon a cabin at the edge of a swamp. According to Kesson, it was a hunter's lodge, owned by Dumra, a hunter who lived there alone, and was known for her great temper and little patience. It also looked as if it might be a place where the cultists would seek shelter. It was unlikely the runaway would brave the depths of the marshes in the middle of the night. So the Baroness pushed open the door and stepped inside, letting it touch the cold night air in. Okay. So what's going to happen when we go in here? The lodge is lit with only a few candles on the tables and the counter. Shadows lie thick around the room. A number of people are here. A well-dressed couple at one of the tables. A girl in simple dress dozes near the opposite wall. And at the counter is an untidy dwarf. She's wiping the mugs and glaring at you. From the half-open kitchen door, you hear the clanging of pans upon metal, presumably a stove. Kesson looks around with a heavy gaze. Things have gone from bad to worse. We must find the cultists before they flee. We have no idea what they look like. The people in the lodge look surprised and concerned. Each seems to recognize you and ask themselves, what is the ruler of these lands doing here at such a late hour, flanked by armed guards? Kesson's hand falls to his weapon. Your Grace, I'm ready to make an arrest, but if you wish to investigate further before making a decision, I'll make sure no one leaves the lodge until you give the order. I'd like to look around and speak with these people. Maybe I'll find something. As you command, Your Grace. No one will leave this house. I'll make sure of that. Kesson looks around the hall once again. My advice. Take their room keys. Their personal belongings speak their owner's intent, often more than their masters would like. Okay. Not a bad idea. Now we got to find who it was though. So, who we got in here? Got a militiaman. Guess we can't speak to them. Right, so let's start with Cabron Tendrim. A bearded middle-aged man stands before you. He wears a massive gold chain on his neck. The woman beside him gives a polite smile and a nod as you approach. Greetings, Baroness. The man's voice is so low as to rumble. Let me introduce myself, Cabron Tendrum from Restov. He nods to the woman beside him. And this is my wife, Una Tendrum. We've come to your lands to hunt, yet I admit we did not expect to meet you in person. To what do we owe this honor? Tell me about yourself, please. I'm a legalist, Baroness. Cabron hooks his thumb into his embroidered belt. My job is to ensure Restov's laws are upheld. My wife is the keeper of the hearth, and my loyal companion in prolonged journeys. That should be hearth. Okay. Una nods without a word, her gaze fixed on you. Let's try this one. Oh yes, of course. Cabron Tendrum. I've heard about you and your famous legal cases. Cabron Tendrum freezes as someone put a knife to his throat. Is that so? He tries to smile, but his eyes are fearful. I doubt, Baroness, that anything you heard concerns me. My family name is a common one. I have so many relatives. I know not a quarter of them. He clears his throat. A legalist, so you're a judge? Cameron smiles slightly. Not exactly. I work as a legal defendant in cases wherein a suspect's innocence must be proven, and I admit I have moderate success in this field. Cameron seems about to elaborate and stops. No need to bother you with tedious tales from the courts. Una Tedrum raises her head. We decided a trip was in order. My husband worked long hours during the last several months, so he felt a journey would be good for us. Well, with a difficult job like yours, it's impossible to get by without some divine support. Whom do you address your prayers to? Why, to Abadar, of course, divine patron of law and lawyers. Cabran looks at you intently. Surely you are aware of Abadar, are you not? You must be. No matter. Okay, let's go back to other questions. You've recognized me at once. Do I know you? I doubt it. But news about your developments within the Stolen Lands and your role in them has travelled far. Renee is a well-known name beyond your borders. Cabron gives a polite half-bow. Far from Bravoy, are you not? You seem, Cabron clears his throat. I've heard the wildlife here are excellent sport, so I decided to see for myself. Sort truth from rumour, you understand? Fortunately, my fair wife was in favour of the trip, so here we are. Do you prefer snares or bow? A bow? What kind of prey do you hunt? Cabron freezes. He swallows. Cougars. He swallows again, as if fighting to take a breath. Magnificent predators, worthy prey. For a worthy hunter, he gives an awkward smile. Well, I hope you enjoy your hunting. Let's change the topic. An odd place to rest for the night. Why, Baroness? Una gives a false smile. We adore this charming dwelling. She glances around the dim hall. Her smile remains, but you notice she raises an eyebrow at her surroundings, as if in judgment. A crime has taken place nearby. The one responsible may be hiding in this house. Have you seen anything suspicious? The Tedrums exchange glances. I'm afraid, Your Grace. Cabron looks downcast. We won't be able to help you. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Cabron looks around the hall. We're not accustomed to such company, Baroness. Besides, from the rest of legalist's point of view, every person in this room is suspicious. Do you know the hostess of this lodge? No, I don't. Cabron rolls his brow, and I must say she doesn't look forward to meeting new people either. Do you recall who came to the lodge in the last hour or so? Cabron casts a look behind you. On second thought, this young woman, I didn't notice exactly when she entered the room. He turns to his wife. My dear, perhaps you recall. What was the name our hostess used to address her? Owlcat, sweetheart. Una shrugs faintly. I cannot recall if I saw her at the start of the evening. Okay, let's go back to other stuff. I need a key to your room. Despite Una's cool expression, you notice a bead of sweat running down her temple. As she spots your glance, her lips tighten. Okay. I'll come back to you later. Okay, so I guess everyone's going to be suspicious here. But even though there's a pair of them, it doesn't mean that one of them wouldn't be the spy. Let's talk to Owlcat. The young woman stands before you, wearing a plain dress and a hooked cloak. Her belly is swollen. She's pregnant, and her time is near. Ooh, she could be the one ready to birth a new beast into the world. Your Grace, it's an honor. The woman bows and stares at you with shiny eyes. I thought I'd never be able to thank you in person for your kindness, but gods are kind to me. You must have forgotten already, but it was you who discovered my husband's body, a trader. Died on one of his trips. You found a brooch and a letter on his body and had it sent to me. She touches the turquoise brooch pinned to her dress. The brooch is familiar to you. You made it possible that the last gift from my husband had found its way home. There's not enough words in the world for how grateful I am. What are you doing here? I'm taking what rest I can from a long day on the road, Your Grace. I'm a widow. Owlcat stopped short. I've barely had 2 seasons to mourn my husband, and he left me with child, and in difficult times like these. I've got a sister in Gralton. God's bless her. She's agreed to give me a shelter in her house, so I went there. There was nowhere else to go. A memory of Owlcat's letter emerges from the depths of your mind. She mentioned her son in that letter, but now there's no child by her mother. It's odd that Owlcat, who's in planning to stay at Gralton, didn't bring her son with her. Where are you from? From Galt, Your Grace. I'm from a tiny village near the tract. Guess no one has ever heard about this place. You recall the collection of Galt and Gralton. As far as you know, stone lands lay aside from the place Owlcat has named. Are you planning to stay in Gralton? Owlcat hesitates. I don't know yet, she answers. But if things turn out well, why not? It was a long journey for you. Owlcat shrugs. I've little coin, Your Grace, so I have to beg traders on the road to ride in their carts. I spend nights anywhere I have to. This place is at least warm and dry. I'm looking for cultists of a dark goddess. Can you help me? Cultist? Owlcat pales. Cultist? That's horrible, but how can I help you? Have you seen anything suspicious tonight? Owlcat shakes her head slowly. No, I don't think so. Do you know anyone in this hall? First time I've seen these people was when I'd stepped over the threshold of this lodge. Do you know who came to the lodge last? Owlcat frowns. I heard a noise from the kitchen. It was like something fell on the floor, and then this grumpy old lady, Dumra, came out. I need a key to your room. Owlcat hesitates, then takes a key from her cloak and hands it to you without a word. You see this couple at the table. They are nobles from Restock. They claim you were the last one who'd come to the hall. Owlcat gives you a perplexed look. But that's not true. It's not. Her voice trembles. Dumra, the hostess, she was the last one. I remember her coming through the kitchen. Okay, I should go. Okay, this is turning into a real mystery here. Okay, Dumra, let's talk to you then. Dumra looks at you without a word. I'm looking for someone. Can you help me? Dumra gives you a sullen glance. It seems she's not too happy to talk with you, but she doesn't dare refuse it openly. Do you know who your guests are? Why should I? Dumra tilts her head, her eyes appraising you. I'm not their ward. They come, they pay for a bed, they keep quiet. Why would I care who they are? A crime has happened, Dumra. I need your help to find the culprit. So what did this culprit do wrong? Dumra's voice became thick, corners of her mouth curved down. Shot a deer in someone's lands? And now the criminal has to run away as if she was an animal herself. Whatever it is, leave me out of it. A cultist of Lamastu is hiding in your lodge. I have to find them. Dumra stares at you for a moment, then utters a hoarse chuckle. Lamastu's own? That's quite a story you've spun, Your Grace. Next you'll tell me I'm holding Rabagug down in the cellar. And what's your proof that I hide cultists? There are footprints leading to your lodge. So what? Folk come to this lodge every day, both from the flatlands and the swamps. Your lodge is the only house in the neighborhood. And she lifts her chin. Is it a bad thing to provide shelter for those who's lost it? Several hours' walk from your lodge is the shrine of Lamistu. Baroness, enough. The dwarf claps her hands. Here in the stolen lands, you can't swing a down cat without hitting some goblin's nest, or cursed runes, or a shrine of something foul. I don't like your tone, Dumra. Really? The dwarf frowns, her eyes narrowing. And how would you react if a mob barged into your home and start troubling you and your guests? If you were expecting me to bow and scrape before you, then you're mistaken. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. Do you let everyone into your house? From her face turned red. What are you hitting at, huh? Your guest, Dumra. Do you allow anyone who asks to spend the night here? Dumra blinks several times, pondering your words. Of course, everyone. What else am I expected to do? Pick who gets a warm spot near the fireplace and who gets left out in the rain? I let in you and your thugs, though you put a terror in my other guests. Do you remember when they came to your lodge at least? Dumra closed her eyes, trying to recall. I went to check on my traps. Some people arrived when I was away, so I can't tell you for sure, Your Grace. People say you came to the hall last. Dumra looks at you closely for a moment and grunts. Right. She speaks slowly as if keeping her temper. I went out to the kitchen when this clumsy gal has knocked over some of my pots. What of it? How many people are in the lodge now? Except for you. Watch yourself. There are 3 of them, all sitting over there. Dumra nods towards her guest. That one in the kitchen, guessing she's a servant to these 2 noble folk. They look to be carrying all the coin. I'd like to examine your room, Dumra. Dumra Dumra's hands tightens her fists, but she keeps them on her hips. She says nothing, merely stares at you defiantly. In diplomacy, we get +14 or +15. I would like to be diplomatic about it, but in this case, we're just going to intimidate. I'm not going to ask twice, damn it. Put the key on the table now. You get talking back to your baroness. Oh, that didn't work. That's how it goes, Dumra squints. If anything is against your liking, you start shaking your fists and rattling your weapons. Won't work with me. I understand the Rascal's protection, Your Grace. And the great hunter will not let anyone harm me. Okay, at least we can try diplomacy now. And we didn't work there either. Let's say I give you the key and use it to pin something something bad on me. I won't allow it. Search the lodge up and down if you want, but stay out of my room. You're suspiciously stubborn in refusing to help. Dumra shakes her head slowly. You may think whatever you like, she frowns. As for me, I just don't like those who feel the need to meddle in the business of others. Okay, we'll return to this question later. Have to go. So let's go and check the rooms if we can. Yeah, over here. Okay.
No stopping now.
So we won't have access to Dumra's room, unfortunately. Okay. Can pop in here though. Bedroom's
That was
gems.
easy.
Okay. Well, what's in it? There are no hunting bows, arrows, snares, or any signs of Tedrums having any hunting on their mind. Okay, so they lied.
It's just not my lucky day.
Okay, that's not good because we don't have anyone else. Yeah, he's gonna try. What else is there in here then? So everyone's gonna look suspicious here, I think. Can we open this one?
Applause, please.
Oh, you can open it, yeah.
Look ahead.
Papers from... Ah, we got into her room anyway. Okay, let's collect all of those. See what this is. Oh. I know it's just looting, but we're basically stealing all of our gold, which is not nice at all. Let's check her bed. The sheets on this bed look dirty. The old bed cover is sewn together from the number of patches. Okay, then her desk. Receipts, shopping lists, and other papers pile over Dumba's table. So she looks the most innocent at the moment, at least. Let's go for other, and then this one. Okay, 1 pot oil. There was bread, 2. Okay, a clear day, it rained in the evening. A clear day, it rained a little. It was rained the whole day. Raining again. The sun came out, then it rained. Animals, rabbits getting more careful. Must come up with a new snare. Less deer in the woods now. Hunters scared them all off. Saw a wyvern eat a deer today. Too many monsters around these parts. Hydras started attacking hunters. Hope they take on goblins as well. These monsters have scared off all the game. Hungry times are coming. Important. Saw a goblin in the swamps. Another goblin lurking in the swamps. They're getting too many of them. Saw a bright flash coming from Candlemere. I don't know what it was. Didn't look like lightning. Must be goblins having fun. Everyone came by today. Haven't seen him for a while. Told me a new ruler showed up in the Stolen Lands. For how long? Saw a goblin again. Okay, so she doesn't seem at all suspicious. Okay, and then there are other rooms here that are just open.
Anything else?
Okay, we'll take that. But it's really weird just going around stealing out of people's rooms. Okay, there's nothing we can do there, so we're going to go open this door.
Applause, please.
But you just used the key that we got to open that room. Why are you looking for applause?
Applause, please.
Okay, collect all of those. The table holds a pile of letters, crossed with ribbon. These are letters from Owlcat's deceased husband. It seems they corresponded often. Okay. The chest contains modest clothing, some packed leftover food, a purse with herbs, other personal belongings. Anything else? And her bed.
Done.
The mattress covers blood-stained cloth and bandages. I have a feeling maybe her son died. Is there anything else in here? Check it. There is. Okay, so let's check this one first. Sheets are crumpled, the blanket is thrown aside. It seems somebody was sleeping in his bed not long ago. So maybe the wife or the husband came in and got the other one to come down below. The bags contain Tedrum's clothes and personal belongings. Oh, so his stuff is there, but not his supposed wife's. And yeah, we can't open that. Right. So, let's head on down and see what this new information will do for us. So let's start with Owlcat. Owlcat, why are there blood-stained undergarments in your room? Is that from? Owlcat takes a step back, her eyes wide with fear. I'll explain. The woman lowers her head and rests her hands against her belly. I'm expecting a baby, but because of the journey, or of all the worries, something must have gone wrong. It hurts. Owlcat closes her eyes tightly. And I bleed. Owlcat starts sobbing. I tried to find out what's wrong, to heal myself, to appease the gods. The priest of Pharasma told me he couldn't help. The goddess rejected my child, said it would be born dead. But I can't just accept it. I can't give up. This child, my husband's child, all I have left of him. Owlcat hides her face behind her hands and starts to weep. You realize you get nothing more from her at the moment. Okay. So how about these two then? Cameron Tandem lowers his head. Your Grace. I've been to your room. I found no hunting weapons there. Cameron becomes white as a sheet. You see, well, he licks his lips, which are now trembling slightly. Una, who was watching her husband closely, touches his shoulder lightly. I beg your pardon, Baroness. She leans into Cameron and whispers something in his ear. You barely hear Una's hiss. Get a hold of yourself, you fool. You'll ruin everything. These words seem to have the desired effect. Cameron suddenly straightens and smiles. Truth be told, it's a rather embarrassing matter. Cameron gives a hollow chuckle. I proved a much worse hunter than I thought. Just imagine, I managed to snap not one, not two, but 3 bowstrings in a day. Infuriated, I broke my bow across my knee. It shames me to even speak of it. What about all your other stuff? The one in the kitchen, your cook? Cameron nods quickly. Yes, we just can't imagine our lives without Susanna. Una coughs delicately. My constitution demands a unique diet. She studies you closely. A private matter, if you don't mind. Yeah, those guys are definitely the most suspicious. Let's talk with Dumra again. I'd like to see your wares. Maybe we can sell you some stuff. Doesn't have anything amazing on her. But at least we can offload stuff. Okay, I think I'm gonna sell both of those as well. Okay, and then let's deal. Now, can we get in the kitchen? We can.
Follow me.
Okay, how about you, Tasana? The kitchen servant is busy grinding herbs within a mortar. She's wearing a dress, soiled with dark stains. Her hand is knotted in a bun, with a few stray hairs poking free. The woman doesn't appear to notice you as she makes her way to the stove. You notice she's limping badly on her right leg. Before you can speak, she turns, sees you and freezes. Who are you? Name's Susanna. I cook for Tedrum's nobles from Restov. She wipes her hand with her apron. What will it be? What can you tell me about your masters? Susanna frowns. No quicker road to trouble, talking about masters, that is. She glances at your clothes and sighs. How would you like it if your servants were all a gossiping about you? They pay regular, not stingy with their coin. They don't yell much, so I count myself fortunate, I do. Why are they here, you think? None of my business. Might be they have things to do, but I wouldn't know it. I mend, I cook, I serve where needed. Alright, that's enough about Tedrums. We're looking for a criminal who may have fled this way. Have you seen anyone suspicious? What can be seen here, you say? Tasana snorts. Ask Dumra. She runs the house, she does. Has anyone come into the kitchen recently? Only Dumra came, she frowns. No doubt checking to see I'm not palming the silver. Or if there's anything worth stealing here, so there's not. The hostess of the lodge doesn't mind you cooking at her kitchen. As if she came here often herself, she throws up her hands. Filth piled in corners, the floor sandal deep in dirt. had to work my fingers to the bone to clean the kitchen before I could start a proper meal in this, she curls her lip, this cowshed. That's all I need. I want the key to your room. Room? She raised an eyebrow. I don't have a room, except here in the kitchen. Bed's a bench, still warm enough though. What are you cooking, Sana? She throws a glance at the stove. That there's for tomorrow, she hesitates. Tomorrow's midday meal it is. Let's peek into the stovepat. You take the lid off the pan. Some brew boils inside it. Looks strange and smells odd. You lean over, smell the stew, and immediately flinch. The acrid stink of vinegar feels like a punch in your face. Besides, you can smell some strange spice, which would be appropriate in a desert, but not enough in a first course for dinner. Or dessert, not desert. It must be difficult to please nobles like Tedrums. I imagine they ask for something new for each day's meal. Susanna thinks about it. Yes, she hesitates and nods. That's it, I suppose. Alright, I won't trouble you any longer. Okay, so... yeah, she does limp like a runaway.
Stop. Look.
Hostess's rune key. We don't need it anymore though. I'm gonna steal all your other stuff. What we got here? Camping supplies. Looks like some rope. Yeah. We'll take the rice. Well, she did say that she doesn't come in here much, so we may as well steal all the stuff. What a noble baroness we are, eh? Okay, we'll take the milk. And more milk. And more milk. Okay. So... Lindsay's journal. Okay, the tracks led us to a solitary lodge full of strange and suspicious people. Any one of them could be a runaway. We don't even know if it's a man or a woman. It's hard to tell with all those black robes and hoods. We'll have to sort it out ourselves somehow, or maybe ask Kesson to do it. Unless this Susanna is intentionally trying to poison her masters, her cooking skills are way below average. Right, the kitchen maid limps, just like our robed runaway. There aren't many women in the world grumpier than this Duna. Looks none too pleased at the arrival. According to Owlcat, she's travelling for gold. She should at least brush up on her geography before trying to lie straight to our faces. Owlcat is definitely hiding something. She claims she's going to live with her sister, but there's no sign of her son around. What kind of mother would leave her own blood behind? As soon as we asked the rest of guests about their room, Una Tendrum started sweating. Has her so woody? Is there something to find among their things? Una Tendrum is definitely not sincere when she says she likes the place. This moneybags must have serious reasons to stay in this hole, reasons she doesn't want us to know about. Cabron Tendrum claims he'd come to the Barney to hunt, but he knows almost nothing about hunting, even less than I do. What a ridiculous idea, searching for cougars in the swamp. Cabron Tendrum became quite jumpy after the Baroness told him she had heard about him earlier. What's he trying to hide so bad? So, I guess... I don't know what to do, actually, so... I think I'm going to end a little bit of a cliffhanger and have a think about it. And next time we'll just maybe tell Kesson, maybe even just follow his own instinct. I'm not sure. But for now, that's the end of this episode. Hope you've enjoyed and hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.
thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right and check out some other videos here on the left.